There's no cure for racing. You're not even going broke. The only cure for racing is the end of our lives, not the end of our career.
By far the best series I've ever raced in, dollar for dollar. I can race all year on a quarter what it would cost me to run anything else.
Here you can beat it out or make a new one and be back the next week. And it's really an affordable series. I really like it.
It's nice to come back, and have the car slide around and, put it back in the driver's hands. I like that.
Hi guys, I'm Olivia Pritchett and I am here at Jennerstown Speedway. This track is noted for having multiple Daytona 500 winners here, including Joey Logano. It is loved by both drivers and fans alike, and while the facility has been standing for over 80 years, the Super Cup Stock Car Series is here to race during its 50th year as a half-mile oval.
Absolutely no denying some of the best have raced right here in the Laurel Mountain region of Western Pennsylvania at Jennerstown Speedway. Hello, everybody. I'm Gene Crane along with Olivia Pritchett here to cover all the action of the fourth round of the Super Cup Stock Car Series, celebrating their 10th anniversary here in 2017. Tonight, it's the American Racer Tires Night at the Races presented by United Tire and Service. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. A complete redraw for the starting lineup sees Brian Harrison, car number 15 on the inside of row number 1. He's joined by the 66 of Larry Wilcox. Row number 2, Bob Schacht to the 75, and winner from race number 1 earlier this afternoon, Brent Nelson in the 80 car. Kevin Kromer finished third earlier this afternoon. He starts the 77 inside row 3, and a man that's become Mr. Runner-Up, although he is the point leader, Jim Crabtree Jr. drives the 63. J.P. Crabtree starts car 42 inside row number 4, and the 90 car, Ron Langdon, will start on the outside of that fourth row. Former winner here at Jennerstown Speedway, Bill Ashton, in the 35 car, winner in Super Cup competition, I might add. And Jason Shue in car number 3, starting alongside in row number 5. Harvey Harrison, our defending champion, had trouble in race number 1. A damaged 51 car makes the call to start inside row 6. And Brandon Harrison, heavy damage to the right front of that car, able to get that car repaired. And on the grid, he starts alongside. Safety truck heads to pit road, and we're set for a start here tonight as they work off the corner. Green's in the air, and pretty good battle down the front straightaway. Harrison had a nose out front, but here's Wilcox. He'll hold tough and swing around the outside. Might have a nose out front, indeed. Nose out front for Wilcox as they work down the back straightaway. It is the 75 of Schacht running third. Everybody hits turn 3, and Harrison on the bottom. Going to pull back alongside Larry Wilcox as they head back to start finish. Larry Wilcox actually raced in the very first Super Cup event back 10 years ago at Hickory Motor Speedway, and making an effort here in 2017 as a full-time racer.
Yeah, I ran the first 2 exhibition races that they ran, one at Hickory and one at Tri-County.
And you've been gone for the last few years?
Yeah, my job had taken me away. I couldn't come and race with them, but now I can. My job has changed, and now I'm able to come back and run.
They've put together a pretty good season so far in 2017. Wilcox showing very good here tonight in that second position early on here in this second of twin 50 lappers. Looking at the 80 car, Brett Nelson, who has been able to get by Schacht for third. Meanwhile, it's Brian Harrison. 4 to 5 car length advantage for Brian Harrison. Family team. His father, Harvey, the defending champion. Brian and Brandon have been racing along with their father for a number of years in the Super Cup Series. New look in 2017. It represents all the hard work they did during the offseason, and Brian putting together a very good run here tonight at Jennerstown. Harrison leads them off at turn 2. Down that back straightaway. Sharp-looking race car here in 2017. New design on that red, white, and blue 15 machine. Wilcox and Harrison leading the field as we head to break. Brett Nelson is third, Bob Schacht fourth, Jim Crabtree Jr. rounding out your top 5. Don't go away, more to come right after this. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Patrick Miller Photography and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. There's 2013 Series champion Todd Peck as he shook down the 42 car earlier this afternoon. Tonight, it's the American Racer Tires Night at the Races presented by United Tire and Service. Second of twin 50s for the Super Cup Stock Car Series. Leader is Brian Harrison by 8 to 10 car lengths right now. And speaking of Peck, he's gone on to do some other racing, but he wound up driving today.
We didn't bring our race car here, and I was just coming out to see the series and see everybody that raced. And JP Crabtree had to run back home last night, and home for them is Indiana. So he has not arrived yet. So I am filling in, just hopped in it for practice, and car was pretty good. A little bit tight center off. We made a few adjustments for it, so I think it'll actually be a pretty racy piece come tonight.
Talk about Jason Shue. What's going on with you and him?
Jason Shue's from around the same town as we are, and he got a car, wanted to get out of go-karts, get into something bigger and faster, and we had run this series for years and years in the past, and told him how great of a series it was, how affordable it was, something that we really think would be a good place for him to get some experience in a fast, full-bodied stock car. It was a big jump from what he was used to, that's for sure, but he's sneaking up on it, definitely.
Well, Todd Peck has moved on and has run quite a few truck races, running in the Truck Series regularly, as well as in the Xfinity Series. Great to see him come back and help some of the fellow racers out as well. Riding along, looking forward at Brian Harrison. That's a complete family effort. Not only his father and his two sons racing, but the daughters in the pit area and very involved as well.
Fresh off of a championship from last year, we're just trying to see if we can't get 2 in a row or maybe get one of the boys a championship. But I think all in all, we're just looking to win races wherever we can, whenever we can. I'd say the hardest part is 3 family members out there at once, and you want them all to do well, and it's hard. I've seen Brian and Brandon getting some wrecks and feel kind of selfish because I'm still cheering for Dad, and I'm like, wait a second, I got to check to see if the boys are okay. So that's probably maybe that's the toughest.
I would say Summer's got one of the tougher jobs, the logistics of 3 family members going racing, prepping the cars and being on the track and everybody being in the right places. Somebody's got to get the job done. Brian Harrison right now getting the job done up front. Brent Nelson giving chase. They went by the 3-car of Jason Shue as he stuck down to the bottom of the racetrack as the 2 leaders went by. Harrison opens up an extra car length or 2 this time on Brent Nelson. Leaders work off of turn 4 and back to start finish. Battle for third's pretty good right now. Bob Schacht is third, but Jim Crabtree Jr. wants it. We go with the 303 products on board with Jim Crabtree Jr. trying to work to the inside of the ECC 75 of Bob Schacht. Down to turn 3 they go, and looks like Crabtree is going to take over the spot, so move him up 1 position, and Bob Schacht back to the 4th spot. But still a distance up ahead is Brian Harrison being pursued by Brent Nelson. Here they are, 3-4 car length separation, back to turn number 3. Brian Harrison getting the job done. Brent Nelson got the job done earlier, but that was in the daylight. We're racing at night here in the second Twin 50. We asked about what changes to make on the race car.
Yeah, you got to make changes at this type of track. When the weather temperatures drop, this track's going to change. It's going to tighten up on you.
So what changes did you make?
What changes? We loosened the car up. That's what we've done. The first race, I could get into 3, stab on the brake, and then just let the car roll through the corners and get back on the throttle, actually before halfway through. And that's what we're looking for in the second race.
Well, Nelson able to close within a car length or 2 on your leader, Brian Harrison, as we head to break. Harrison and Nelson, your top 2, followed by Crabtree, Bob Schacht, and Kevin Cromer back into the top 5. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Extreme Awards and Personalization and by Stable 360 Performance. Use it every fill-up to keep your engine running cleaner, smoother, leaner, and stronger than ever. It's been a strong run tonight for Brian Harrison in car 15. He leads the way in the American Racer Tires night at the races. Brent Nelson went to victory lane earlier this afternoon in the first 50-lap event. Nelson within a car length of the 15 of Brian Harrison, and now add the 63 of Jim Crabtree Jr. to the mix. And we've got a 3-car battle shaping up for the race lead here at Jennerstown. Leaders work off at turn 2. It's still Harrison in command of the field. Got a lot of teams here in Super Cup from a variety of different backgrounds and economic conditions, everything from driver development to homegrown family teams, and it's quite a chore to create parity within the ranks. But Joe Schmeling tells us about it.
How we keep 20 cars competitive is the cars are all similar underneath. Chassis are virtually the same. We've got them on a hard tire. We've got them on RPM restrictions, which limits the horsepower that they can put to the ground. So we've got ARCA cars, Pro Cup cars, Super Cup cars, probably 5 or 6 different engine combinations. The tire is the key to making them run reasonably even. The tire rules, we're running twin races here today. They can only put 1 set of tires on. They have to run both races with the same set of tires. So they have to conserve the tires a little bit in the first race to have something at the end of the day. The tires in American Race are EC82. It's very, very hard, very durable. They can run them several races if they choose to.
What has turned out to be a very good combination, as you can see up front, 3 cars battling for the race win here at Jennerstown Speedway. Harrison still showing the way. We talked earlier to General Manager Bill Rebar here from Jennerstown Speedway about some of the philosophies they're adopting here in the weekly racing at this half-mile speed plant.
We follow a lot of the same philosophies. We're trying to create an economical way of racing. You know, short track racing has really suffered all over the country, and we feel that putting them on a stable, economical tire as well as motor restrictions. At Jennerstown, we're actually creating crate motor in our top 3 divisions. It's great to see familiar names like Bob Shack and Cody Rollball, who you can watch on TV and watch him race at Michigan and Pocono, and have him come to the facility, and fans in the stands can make that reference. We've lost that in short track racing, and Super Cup has provided us an excellent opportunity to bring that to the facility.
The battle up front has heated up. Crabtree and Nelson really putting the pressure on the 15 of Harrison as they work back into turns 1 and 2. That's Harvey Harrison, the defending champion, 51 car just behind the race leaders. But up front, quite a battle. Nelson within a car length as they work to turn 3. Brian Harrison has not put a wheel wrong all night long around this big half mile. They close in on the 3 car of Jason Shue as we go on board with the 303 products on board of Jim Crabtree Jr. They go by the outside of Shue, and there is a problem in turn 1 or turn 2 right ahead. Looks like JP Crabtree in trouble over there on the outside of turn 2. So we go to caution here at Jennerstown Speedway just as it was starting to get rather intense up front. Here's Crabtree pulling away and does not appear to have any significant damage to that 42. We go to caution. Let's look back. Only 1 repeat winner during the 2016 campaign. Talk about parity in the rules. It was Cody Rollball in the final event of the season here at Jennerstown Speedway that would sneak by and take the checkers on that evening to be that only repeat winner. Burn the tires down in victory lane. And Rollball, who actually does double duty between the Super Cup Series, ARCA Series, and a lot of other racing endeavors, put together a good run, and he still is very involved in the series with his grandfather, Larry Berg, and the 21 car of Stephen Cox. Here's a look at our top 5. Harrison, Nelson, Crabtree, Kevin Cromer, and Bob Shack round out your top 5. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Extreme Awards and Personalization and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. Setting up for a restart here at Jennerstown Speedway Super Cup competition in the American Racer Tires Night at the Races, presented by United Tire and Service. Double file, Brian Harrison on the inside, Brett Nelson on the outside. And off the corner, Harrison will get the jump. He'll lead him down to turn 1. Brett Nelson in that middle groove, unable to drop down to the low groove. Jim Crabtree Jr. is there. Add Kevin Cromer to the mixed 4-car battle down the back straightaway for the race lead, led by Brian Harrison. Harrison rolls it off deep into the corner. Here comes Bob Shack to the 75 and the 66 of Larry Wilcox. 6 cars across start finish, all battling for the lead here in Super Cup competition. Off the corner in turn 2, Brian Harrison, followed by Nelson. Nelson takes a peek to the inside. He'll get a run off at turn 2. Brett Nelson to the inside in turn 3 of Brian Harrison. Moves Harrison up the racetrack. Now Harrison has got to deal with Jim Crabtree Jr. They get together out of turn 4. Cars spinning down the front straightaway. The field able to weave around the 2 spinning cars. Crabtree's car comes to a stop right at start finish. Here's a look from the 303 products on board with Jim Crabtree Jr. Little contact off the corner sends Brian Harrison into a spin. Crabtree spins as well. A cloud of smoke for the rest of the field to try to weave through and not strike either of the spinning race cars. Take another look at it from the tower cam. And off the corner, Crabtree's car just pushes straight up the racetrack to make contact and go for a spin. Kevin Cromer hard on the brakes. He'll go to the outside between the wall and the spinning 15 of Harrison. Bob Schacht will dive to the inside and weave between those cars. Here's a look from Bob Schacht's perspective as he works his way off at turn 4. Leaders right ahead. Bob Schacht able to weave through without making any contact, but not able to get back up to speed. He's brought his car to pit road, and looks like he is out of the race car. It may be a short night. In fact, it is a short night for Bob Schacht, veteran campaigner in the 75 car. Set for a restart. This time, Brent Nelson will be our race leader on the inside with car number 80. Alongside him, the 77 of Kevin Cromer. Cromer has put together a great season so far in 2017 after coming back and having quite a bit of adversity in 2016, including a battle with cancer. Cromer will drop down to the inside and follow Brent Nelson out of turn 2 in that second position. Ron Langdon, car number 90, in his debut in the Super Cup Series, up to third. He's on the outside battling with Larry Wilcox and that 66 car. Langdon is having a great introduction to the Super Cup Stock Car Series here this weekend. Running third, Wilcox still trying to challenge him as they work out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. But everybody chasing Brent Nelson, who seeks to be the first repeat winner here in the 2017 campaign. One gentleman that will not go to victory lane tonight, although was in the top 5. A mechanical issue putting the 75 of Bob Schacht out of the event. And Olivia is with our veteran campaigner.
All right, Bob, we heard that you lost a drive shaft. Was there any clue, or did you realize that was going to happen?
They spun there in front of me like that. I started slowing down and stuff, and then I hit third gear to try to get around them. And it just wheel hopped and spit the drive shaft out of it. So what are you going to do? Another day at the racetrack.
You can show just how veteran Bob Schacht is, takes it all in stride. Got a comment, though, not having a drive shaft, no way to power around. Had Brian Harrison's car continued to spin, Bob Schacht was in a precarious spot there and could have been easily collected. Able to keep it clean and back to the pit area, and they'll get that car repaired for the next time. Let's take a look at our top 5 as we head out to break. Brent Nelson, Kevin Cromer, Ron Langdon, Larry Wilcox, and Jim Crabtree are your top 5. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by United Tire and Service and by 303. Keep your car looking newer, longer. Jennerstown Speedway, Brent Nelson trying to open up the advantage here in the American Racer Tires Night at the Races, presented by United Tire and Service. Nelson looking to repeat with 2 wins in the same day here in Super Cup competition. Nelson across the line, 2 to go signal. He goes by Jason Shue and the 3 car on board, the stable onboard camera with Brent Nelson. Nobody ahead to have to contend with for the leader, Brent Nelson. Kevin Cromer back in that second spot in the 77 car. Right now, not a challenge as the white flag is out. Here is Nelson across the line. Cromer still almost about a straightaway behind as the 80 car all by his lonesome, looking to be the first repeat winner here in 2017. It was only done once during 2016. Nelson, a great recovery after a tough outing at Midvale. He'll come off at turn 4. He is your winner in the second Twin 50 here at Jennerstown Speedway. Cromer comes home in the second spot. Ron Langdon hangs on for third. A great debut for Langdon. And that 90 car, as the rest of the field flashes across start finish on his way to victory circle, is the 80 of Brent Nelson. Bring the car to the front straightaway, turn around a little bit. Kevin Cromer giving plenty of room as Brent Nelson lights up those American Racer tires. Now you can burn them down, Brent. Had to save them during the first celebration in the first 50 lapper. Here's Brent Nelson taking the safety harness and, well, don't forget the collar indeed. Okay, Brent Nelson out of his race car. Your winner here tonight at Jennerstown. Olivia is with our happy winner.
Awesome job, Brent. I want to hear all about the battle between you and the 15 car.
Brandon and I, we had a battle. You know, I was tight. I was getting tight coming off the corner, coming off of 4 here and then going off of 1 or going into 1. You know, I try to push up under him. And, I mean, he ran a good run. He was just holding his line, and I was just waiting for him to make a mistake, and when he did, I capitalized on it.
Now, they say that your favorite track is the one you win at the most. Now you've got 2 wins in a row here. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm ready to come back when we run here again.
So I'm saying you're a fan of Jennerstown now, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We love this place. You know, last year we had pretty bad accident up here in 3 and 4, but, you know, we've rebounded, and, hey, we won. We won 2 tonight.
Brent Nelson doubles up here at Jennerstown. A pair of doubles as far as good finishes for our second place finisher, Kevin Cromer. He comes home second. Ron Langdon finishes in third. Olivia's with them.
All right, Kevin, now you watched the battle between 63 and 15 for quite a while, and then they got tangled up, and somehow you missed it?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of luck. I saw it happen, and as long as they held the brakes, I knew I could sneak by the outside, and it was really close with the 15 coming up the racetrack. So our luck was on our side that time to get through that. Brent had rotated through the corner a whole lot better than I did, and that's how he got, run away from me. I actually had a 4th or 5th place car, but with the way it worked out, we finished second. So 2 top 5s tonight. I'm satisfied with that.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
All right. Well, way to make your series debut, 3rd place. You've got to be happy with that.
I am ecstatic. I couldn't be happy. I never drove so hard in 100 laps in one day in my life. It's my first race. I'm just excited.
What brought you to Super Cup?
I wanted something different. I wanted to go to something that was racing the way I know racing, where people don't wreck each other, where they give each other room. And, a couple incidents tonight, but hey, things happen in racing. And I kept it off the wall, which is a shock because it was bad loose in that race. But I just drove it for all I could.
Well, that's why it's called racing the way it used to be here in the Super Cup Series. Here's a look at our finishing order. Jim Crabtree recovers for 4th. Larry Wilcox 5th. Brian Harrison comes home 6th, followed by J.P. Crabtree, Bill Ashton, Jason Shue, and Harvey Harrison. Points implications to Harrison, Cox, and Gosser. They'll have their challenges for the championship here in 2017. For Olivia Pritchett and the entire Sopwith Motorsports crew, I'm Gene Crane, and we'll see you next time.